Checking in now with Candace Fischer from Fischer Hearing. We've talked about the ears and hearing and all about the brain, but let's go back to basics right now, Candace. What actually causes hearing loss?
You know, excellent question, and probably the easiest way to explain that is to talk about the different types of hearing loss.
Well, let's do that then. How many different types are there?
There's four, actually. We have conductive hearing loss, sensorineural hearing loss, mixed, and auditory neuropathy spectrum disorder.
All right, well, let's start with that first one. You said it's conductive hearing loss. What is it?
Exactly. Conductive hearing loss. When sound waves are stopped from entering the outer or the middle ear canal, there's no way it can get through to where we need it to get to. And that blockage can be caused by many things. It can be wax, very, very simple. It can be fluid in the ear infection, damage to those tiny little bones in the ear, the ossicles, damage to the eardrum or the tympanic membrane, anything that stops that sound from getting through. The good news is typically conductive can be medically or surgically treated.
Okay, let's move on to the next one then. It's sensorineural hearing loss. It's a big word. What is it?
Yeah, so it's nerve damage. Basically, it's nerve damage. So that sound is entering through the outer and the middle ear canal. The damage occurs in that inner ear. So those tiny little hairs, they're like little cilias, and they're supposed to carry that sound through the auditory system up to the brain, and it's just not doing it effectively. And sensorineural hearing loss is typically permanent, often progressive, and is not typically medically or surgically treated.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the mixed hearing loss is a combo of the two.
You're good. You're good. You're paying attention. I love it. That's exactly right. I could have somebody say somebody that had farmed for 60 years and they have a known hearing loss, sensorineural or nerve damage. Maybe they've got their canal plugged with wax. So we want to get that wax out of there. We can treat that conductive portion of it, but that sensorineural or nerve damage portion is going to remain.
All right, the next one that you were talking about is auditory neuropathy spectrum disorder. Again, it's big words that we want to break down so we can help our audience understand that.
Yeah, this is more rare, and it can be really debilitating. And it's interesting because this would be somebody whose hearing loss actually shows normal, but just has an extraordinary amount of difficulty understanding speech. So this becomes more of a transmission issue than a hearing issue.
All right, so what are actually the most common types of hearing loss?
Yeah, great question. Typically depends on who you're seeing. If you're seeing a pediatric population, usually we're going to see a lot of conductive hearing losses just because ear infections can be very, very common at that age, just that eustachian tube's a little bit flat. I specialize in adult seniors, those with cognitive decline, so I see more sensorineural or nerve damage hearing loss.
All right, thank you so much for your time this morning. Of course, as always, if you suspect hearing loss, the first step is a diagnostic exam, which Candace can help you with. You can head on over to her website for more info.